statement. Frigging statement from that ball club in the opener of the College World Series here in 2025. That was beautiful from LSU. I have so many thoughts on so many things that happened throughout that game. Y'all smash the like button. Welcome in. It's Moose with the Box. Please share. Please get subscribed. YouTube, your favorite podcast app. Share all of those things. Let's freaking go. Man. There's a lot of things to go through from that. There is one place to start, and that is Cade Anderson. Frigging unbelievable. Unbelievable. Cade Anderson has been an absolute dog for LSU all season long. All season long. Absolute dog. When they have needed him most, that is when he has really, really stepped up. And Saturday night in Omaha was no different. Cade Anderson, after having an outing that he wasn't pleased with, in the Super Regional. And I've told y'all, I thought Cade Anderson, for the majority of that game, was as Cade Anderson as he can be. He was through 5, 1 earned run. Then he had to sit for about an hour's worth of time across 2 innings and then go back out into the field. But when you look at the line, he gave up 6 earned and he wasn't pleased. And one of the things I talked about, and we talked about on this show all week, was Anderson after outings that he wasn't pleased. We looked at the Mississippi State game. 4 1/3, 5 earned. The very next week, complete game shutout at Oklahoma with 14 Ks. The Bama game at home. Gave up 5 earned in that one. Came back the very next week. 7 1/3, 2 earned against Tennessee, 11 Ks. You look at that outing a week ago, he wasn't pleased. He comes out on Saturday night in Omaha on the game's biggest stage with the lights the brightest in a game that had as much on the line as any opener in College World Series history. And Cade Anderson took a lineup that is arguably the best lineup in the country that hits .348 off of left-handed pitching, and he put them in a 7-inning chokehold. End of story. End of story. Cade Anderson set the tone in this ball game for LSU, and he carried it throughout. And we're going to get to the second inning and the offense and the struggles of Zach Root. But I'm just going to say this. And this isn't a back pat. This is none of that. The reason I picked LSU to win this baseball game, because let's be honest, Arkansas is a complete baseball team. LSU definitely has flaws. But the reason I picked LSU to win this game was Cade Anderson. The kid's going to be a top 5 draft pick. He might go 1-1. Ethan Holiday's really freaking good. But he might go 1-1. But he's definitely going top 5. And he's the best pitcher remaining in this tournament. 100%. And he showed it tonight. He had everything working. And you know what? There's a couple of examples, man, that I really, really loved. Forgive me, I can't remember exactly what inning it was, but he threw a curveball to Brent Iredale that might be the best curveball that Cade Anderson has ever thrown in an LSU uniform. And he has thrown some really damn good ones. But that thing was puke-inducing. And then when you get to the 7th inning and Ryder Helfrich is ahead in the count 3-1, Ryder Helfrich, who, mind you, absolutely abused LSU in the regular season, he's in a 3-run count, and Cade Anderson drops in the other best curveball. Like, the curveball he threw to Brent Iredale was the best curveball in an LSU uniform until the one to Ryder Helfrich in the 7th inning. He drops in a 3-1 curveball, back foot to a righty, and induces the swing and miss. That is disgusting. You hear so much about a guy who can throw a pitch in any count. Cade Anderson is actually that guy that can throw any pitch in any count. And that's what he did tonight. He didn't make a bad pitch. Even the one that Reese Robinette hit out of the park, you tip your hat to Robinette. That was 95 on the inside black. The kid pulled his hands in, had quick enough hands, got the barrel to it, kept it fair. You tip your hat to that kid. That was awesome. Like, that is a great swing from a good player. Cade Anderson, when you look at that line, you see 7 innings, 3 hits. Remember, 348 off of lefties, 3 hits, 1 earned, 7 punch-outs. He was absolutely phenomenal. He had all 4 pitches working. He threw all of them for strikes, whether it was the fastball, the slider, the changeup, or the curve. He was locked in. He was in his game, and he was talking his noise out there on the mound too. Absolutely love it from Cade Anderson. And you know what? He faced 24 batters in this game, exactly like he did in the regular season. And in total, you're looking at 12 2/3, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, and 17 strikeouts from Cade Anderson against that Arkansas lineup this year. That's incredible. Like, you want to know why? You want to know why he's risen draft boards to the heights that he has? That's why. That's why. Do you realize Arkansas did not have an at-bat with a runner in scoring position until the 8th inning? When Kogil advanced on the wild pitch from Shores to get to second, that's the first at-bat Arkansas had with a runner in scoring position all night. Cade Anderson put that team in a 7-inning chokehold. It was the reason I liked LSU in this game, and my gosh, didn't he go out there and prove it? And you can add that one to the list. Whether it's the complete game shutout at Oklahoma, whether it is the 7 1/3 against Tennessee, and now go ahead and ask that, add that to the list. The 7 innings against Arkansas. LSU has had some great performances from starting pitchers in the College World Series. That's up there. Like, that is up there, man. I'm not going to tell you it's the best, but it's definitely up there from Anderson. He was great. He'll end the season as the nation's leader in strikeouts. It's the 3rd highest strikeout total in LSU history, only trailing Paul Skeens and Ben McDonald. Both those guys went 1-1. Like, that's the company that Cade Anderson is keeping. Paul Skeens and Ben McDonald. You can put his name up there with those 2 guys when it comes to strikeouts, because the season says so. The statistics say so. Just an incredible performance. I mean, that is a performance that we will remember for a very, very long time from Cade Anderson, given everything that was on the line. A team in the last, 40-some-odd years that has lost the first game has only won the World Series 4 times. And 2 of those are Oregon State, by the way, 2006 and 2018. There was so much on the line, and Cade Anderson stepped up and did what he's done all year long. Just like a literal physical tip of the hat. Hats off. He was awesome, and he has been all year. All right, I have thoughts on Chase Shores. I have thoughts on Kason Evans. But let's talk about the LSU offense right now, because, look, the top 3 in your lineup just weren't great tonight. They went 0 for 4. I loved the at-bat by Pearson in the second. I'll get to it. But 4 through 9 were awesome. All 6 of the hits that you had came from hitters 4 through 9. Stephen Milam was the only guy who had a 2-hit night. I thought he showed awesome resolve and a great ability to adjust. A great ability to adjust in that ball game because his first 2 at-bats, he looked really, really bad. Like, he looked really, really bad in those first 2. 2 swinging strikeouts. He comes back, hard single, and then a hustle double as well. He made great adjustments against the Arkansas bullpen. But when you go to that second inning, Zach Root looked like he was just on his game in the first. And y'all, we talked about him. He was pitching to a 0.69 ERA in 2 postseason starts. He had everything working. You saw the velo up on the fastball, just like we had talked about. That changeup was crisp, and the curveball was great too. And he strikes out Milam swinging to start the second, then throws 4 out of the zone to Luis Hernandez. And I'm going to sit here and tell you, and you could choose to believe this or not, that is the only thing that LSU was given in that inning. That's it. When Derek Curiel came up, he earned that walk. And that was the first of 3 at-bats that were just elite from Curiel on Saturday night. Curiel falls behind 0-2, just absolutely spits on 2 excellent breaking balls from Zach Root and earns his walk. And then Danny Dickinson with one of the heads-up plays of the season to drop down a bunt and get it perfectly in that spot, catch Arkansas off guard and beat it out, and you have the bases loaded with 1 out. And from that point, you can do a lot of things. It's why I sat here and we talked about it. The LSU offense, the way that they have had to play offense this season translates to that ballpark. It just does. I tweeted it. Stanfield comes up. He lines the single to left. That drives in your first run of the game right there. 1-0. And then Braswell comes up. And I tweeted, said, clutch single by Stanfield. It gets you the 1-0 lead. I'm looking for a bunt from Braswell right now. He didn't square on the first pitch. He squared on the second. He ends up wearing it off his foot. All right. That pushes across run number 2. You still have 1 out. And then Josh Pearson comes up. And that's a guy who, you know, it's been talked about a lot. The 8 guys who have returned from the Omaha team and the championship team in 23. And no disrespect to those other 8 guys. They've seen how it's done. They all understand that. But none of them that are going to play, because Guidry made a hell of an impact, but none of them that are going to play in this rendition of the College World Series had as big of an impact as Josh Pearson did in 2023. And Pearson puts together an incredibly mature at-bat, doesn't punch out, puts the ball in play, a little too hopper on the infield, and has enough speed out of the left-handed batter's box to beat it out and not get doubled up, and that pushes across your next run. LSU gets credit for that sort of thing. They just do. That's a great at-bat. And at that point, you chase Zach Root, which was one hell of a choice by Dave Van Horn, and I'll tell you right now, it was the right choice. It was the right choice by DVH. He went to his best. He went to Gackle, and Gackle kept them in the ball game all the way through. All the way through. We'll get to the run that you got in the 8th off of him, but all the way through, he was great. And Gabe Gackle is tough enough. Like, I understand you can look at that and go, man, LSU didn't do anything off the bullpen. Put some respect on Gabe Gackle's name, y'all. That's a major league pitcher. That kid is good enough with the fastball and the slider. When he has all 4 pitches working like he did tonight, good luck. Good luck. I mean, that kid is awesome. And good luck. And he kept you in it. He threw every single pitch for sure. Guys flipping over a 90-mile-per-hour changeup with an arm side run. Good luck. So, I mean, that, like, Dave Van Horn saw, game was on the line. Ethan Fry crushed Zach Root. He admitted it on the broadcast. Ethan Fry crushed Zach Root, and they didn't want to lose the game right there. And he made a move, and I think it was the right move. A little bit more on Derek Coryell. So, the at-bat in the second was just beautiful. His next at-bat, when he earned another walk, mind you, spitting on some great pitches from Gackle, that was great. And then, in the 8th inning, when they bring in Cole Gibbler, and Gibbler has that just menacing slider from the left side, and Coryell couldn't find it those first two pitches. He swung and missed it both, and quite honestly, he wasn't close. But Derek Coryell stayed with it. He knew he was going to get it again because he swung and missed so poorly. He knew he was going to get that pitch again, and he stayed on it and drove it to the opposite field and brought in a massive insurance run. And you know what? I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm looking at him looking as bad as he did. Like, as bad as he did on the first two, and I'm going, man, I don't want to waste this leadoff double from Milam. And the very next pitch, he stays on it and drives it to the outfield, and you score the run. Derek Curry, I said this on the pregame show with Hunt earlier this afternoon, because we were talking about where Coryell would hit in the lineup, given you were facing a lefty and you were going to, he's moved down against Kern and things of that nature. When I was talking about Coryell with Hunt earlier today, I said he's the best at bat in LSU's lineup. And like that's why I was like, I want him at the top. Like, I understand the struggles against lefties and whatnot, but he's the best at bat. Like, with all due respect to Stephen Milam, who doesn't strike out ever, and he punched out twice tonight. Those were his first two punch outs, mind you, of the postseason. But Derek Coryell is the best at bat in this LSU lineup, and he proved that on the biggest stage 3 times tonight. Those 2 walks were elite, and for him to stay on that slider and drive it to the outfield and get you an insurance run after he looked so poorly on it, so bad on it the previous 2 pitches, that's a big leaguer, y'all. That kid's a big leaguer right now. We talked about him so much in the preseason where it was like you actually can't overhype him. Because it's if you got eyes on him, whether in the fall or the spring, you know what I'm like. You agree with me. You know what I'm talking about. You could just see it then. The quality of the at-bat was elite. He used all fields already at that point. He was next in line, and he's proven that all year. And he was absolutely massive for LSU's offense tonight. It is a 1-for-2 night, but he reached base 3 times. And that's been the hallmark for him all season long, is reaching base. He was phenomenal. Now, you get that 4-1 lead. You go back to Cade Anderson in the 8th inning, which makes a ton of sense because Cam Kojal's up. It's a lefty. He gives up the single, and you go to Chase Shores. And a lot of people would say, why Shores? Why not just go straight to Evans? And look, again, on the pregame show with Hunt, we were talking about if you need 6 outs, what do? I said, I'm going to Evans because he's been your most consistent guy at the back end of the bullpen all year long. I could see the path for Chase Shores, though. Chase Shores throws 100 miles per hour. He's 6'12". He's got a ridiculous slider when he's got it on. And he's your hot hand. And on top of that, we talked about this all week, the performance he had against Arkansas in the regular season. He appeared twice, walked 1 4 2/3, and punched out 4. He was awesome against this team. So you ride the hot hand. He's also, again, the hot hand. He's coming off the best performance he has ever had in an LSU uniform last week to close out the Super. So you ride the hot hand. The first pitch, he tugs. It's wild. Kojiel advances to second. And then I'll be damned. Chase Shores hikes the pants up a little bit and goes to town. 2 strikeouts after that. Strikeout, tops out at 101.8. And even when Justin Thomas got a swing off on it, Shores supplied the power, and it carries right to Stanfield in center field. That was an absolutely massive moment for LSU in the ballgame. And it's what you need. You know, in 2023, before the season started, Jay Johnson talked about Thatcher Hurd. He said for LSU to get where they want to go, Thatcher Hurd is going to have to pitch in the biggest games for LSU. The same is said for Chase Shores. For LSU to get where they want to go, Chase Shores has got to factor in. And the last 2 games, he has factored in the best he ever has in an LSU uniform. The slider is the key. Like the 101 is cool. That's real cool. That slider is tight. And when he has that pitch going and he can shove it inside to a lefty like he was doing tonight, you have no chance. You have no chance against him. Because that guy is changing speeds out of the same arm slot from 101 to freaking 86. Like, do you realize how ridiculous that is? We need Pitching Ninja to do the overlay on the Shores fastball and the slider because it comes out of the same arm slot and it's absolutely disgusting. And then Case and Evans. Evans comes in and look, Arkansas got him. Like Arkansas hit him hard in the regular season. Hit him hard in the regular season. And Davalon comes up and immediately smashes it. And you're thinking, oh, Lord, here you go. But he puts a slider right below the barrel of Ahiva Aloy. And then it is relatively easy the rest of the way. Weak contact from that point out for Case and Evans. And LSU wins the ballgame. That was a great performance. That was a great performance by LSU tonight. A complete performance. 4 runs, 6 hits. You took advantage of some opportunities. You chased the starter early. You got a great outing from your ace. And your bullpen was nails. And when you needed it late in the game, your offense came through again and pushed across the insurance run. Chef's kiss. That was a statement made for LSU. They will advance to Monday night, 6 p.m. Central. They will face UCLA, and everyone will be available for each team except the starters. I will drop a full UCLA LSU preview Sunday, so stay tuned for that, where we'll really dive into the game itself. But just a quick look. I mean, Chase Shores pitched an inning, Case and Evans pitched an inning. They can come back. And for UCLA, the guy who threw the most out of their bullpen was August Souza, and he threw 21 pitches. So everybody else is available except for the 2 starters for those teams. It should be a great ball game. It should be an absolutely great ball game. All right, y'all. I have gone on for 24 minutes. I appreciate everybody here. Y'all get your questions in, though, now. Please smash the like button if you haven't already. Please get subscribed to Musso at the Box YouTube channel and on your favorite podcast app. That way you can take the show with you wherever you may go. That's greatly, greatly appreciated. And please share. I love that as well. Follow on social media. Musso at Musso Matthew on Twitter X. You can find me Instagram and Facebook as well. Questions. Okay. Justin Hunt says, Musso, why aren't you on vacation? It's next week, guys. It's for the championship series that I'm always at the beach. Jeffrey asked, would you have let Shore start the ninth? Yeah, I would have. But again, they trust Case and Evans. So, I mean, yes, I would have let Shores go. With how good he looked, I would have rode the hot hand still. But they went Evans. And again, like I said, I would have gone Evans in the 8th inning because it's just the guy you've been most, consistent with. So I really don't have a problem at all with how Jay handled the pitching staff. But sure, I would have just rode the hot hand. Warren S. says, is Cowan old product or can he still be effective? He can still be effective. He's got to throw more strikes. I mean, that's the thing. And really what's hurt Cowan is the changeup. It hasn't been as crisp as it has been at other points this season, and that's a bummer. But that's honestly been what's hurting him. David, $5 super chat says, why haven't you talked about the most important the most important topic, shoelaces? Yeah, it was wild, dude. Gackle pops a shoelace like nobody's business, and then wasn't worried about his timing at all. Just took his time out there, man. So that was great. Parker G, could Evans be available to slam the door Monday night? Absolutely, yes. As just said, Parker, everyone for UCLA and LSU out of the bullpen is available. All arms there. Cloud Zach excited for the chance for revenge for 2013. Yeah, but I'm more excited to send this 2025 team into the stratosphere. All right, a lot of y'all are asking about Jared Jones. Let's talk about Bear. That was a really, really rough night for Fort Bats. The one he got rung up on in the ninth was hideous. I thought Jeff Head actually had a really good night behind home plate. And if you know me, you know I do not like Jeff Head at all. So for me to say that, I'm being honest. He had two gross moments. One was that ringing up Jones on that pitch. The other was the slider in from Gackle that he called a strike on Ethan Fry. Other than that, I actually thought Jeff Head was very good. In terms of Bear Jones, he did not have a good night. He wasn't seeing it. He was also facing the best pitching he's going to face in this World Series. And I will caution you on this tale with Jared Jones. A lot of folks, and you know who you are, did anything you could to clown Jordan Thompson in the 2023 World Series. And then in the championship game, he finally came through and got his moment. The same thing can easily happen with Jared Jones this season, this World Series. So caution there. I'm not going to shy away from that. That was a really poor performance from Jared Jones. They pitched him very well, though, as well. He was completely off balance. They mixed their pitches great. He barely saw fastballs tonight, and when he did, he missed them, and that's on him. But when you saw him against Fouch, he was on that heater, and I thought he held up on the pitch. I thought he held up on the pitch that Head punched him out on. Does Jones need to be better on the breaking ball? Absolutely. Yes. That may not happen at LSU. But I think it can happen for him later in his career when he gets back into pro ball. Jones is a very emotional player as well. So that was bad. But he's going to be in the lineup on Monday. And we'll see if he can do better against UCLA. UCLA's got some really good arms out of the pen. Their pitching is not as good as Arkansas's. So I saw Jeffrey said UCLA didn't throw... I saw Jeffrey said ESPN didn't show a replay of the call. Yeah, they didn't. Because it would have been gross negligence if they did. You would have saw how bad that is. The home plate umpire should always, it should be mandated that the home plate umpire appeals to a base on a check swing. Because he doesn't have the best view. No matter what happens, he never has the best view of that play. So, Fred, what I mean by emotional player with Jones, he might not show it. It's internal. He fights himself a lot. And when he gets in a bad spot, that can be exposed. But I'm just, we know what Jared Jones is as a player at LSU. Like, we know now. Jared Jones is a career 300 hitter at LSU over 3 seasons. Look it up. He has the 3rd most home runs all time at LSU and a total at 62 that would lead most programs in the country. And he strikes out a lot. Well, that's what he is. Even with those strikeouts, he's a career 300 hitter. He's not coming out of the lineup. He's a damn good defensive first baseman. And you'll see him in the lineup. You'll see him in the lineup going forward. So, that's the Jared Jones conversation. What else do we want to talk about? Get some questions in, y'all. We can go long tonight. Cloud Zach, I absolutely agree with you on that. He says, I think because of Trey Morgan, Jones hasn't gotten nearly the recognition he deserves for his glove at first base. He hasn't. Jared Jones is also a career 990 fielder over at first base. He's been a great player for LSU. Cloudzac says. Yes, Cloudzac. They exercise the nightmares of Adam Plutko. Andrew Sapp says, will Jones hit further down lineup next game? Maybe. That's interesting. You know, you could see that. But the thing is, you're facing a completely different team. I saw somebody earlier ask, same lineup for Monday. No, LSU is not going to run the same lineup out Monday because they are facing a right-handed pitcher who doesn't go deep in ball games. And you're going to see it switch up. You'll see it go back to something you've seen more similar throughout the year. Curriel will be back at the top. I think you'll stick with Ethan Fry in the 2-hole. Could you move? Could you move Jones down? Sure. I think Jake Brown will be in the lineup against the right-handed pitcher, obviously, to start in right field. 100%. You're going to see them go back to a more traditional lineup. That's just what's going to happen. I wouldn't mind moving Jared Jones down. He responded very well to the move to the 6-hole. But in the Super Regional Game 2, he hit incredibly well out of the 3-hole as well. So it's a very game-to-game thing. It's how Jay Johnson operates it. You might not like it. I might not like it. It's how he operates. And it's won them 49 games this year. So, all right. I think LSU had a very good offensive night tonight. I really do. They played to the park, and they executed well. And that's the other thing we talked about. That's the other thing we talked about this week was execution. We talked about it a lot on the pitching side, right? Because it was, who has the advantage? Is it the offenses because they've seen these two pitchers more or not? I said, no, it's the guy who executes. If Cade Anderson's on his game, if Zach Root's on his game, those guys can put you in a damn chokehold. It doesn't matter how many times you've seen them. They're elite pitchers. They're both pro pitchers. Cade Anderson is absolutely a major league pitcher. I think Zach Root gets there too. LSU executed incredibly well all night long. They didn't commit an error in the field. They took advantage of their opportunities on the base paths and with runners in scoring position, and they pitched incredibly well. Any more questions? Any more questions here tonight? I hear y'all with the 16 Ks. It's a great pitching staff. You have to understand that Gabe Gackle is a major league pitcher. He's that is a major leaguer who had all 4 pitches working tonight. And likewise, Cade Anderson did Arkansas. He put you in a chokehold. He's great. You have to tip your hat to the other team sometimes. I know nobody wants to do that, but you have to. David, I saw your $5 super chat. David Knockan. can you just post your question again? I forgot the question. You don't have to super chat it again. Just please post your question again. Was that it about Gackle? Assuming Arkansas makes it to the final, is Gackle done? Which final? Like Thursday? Are you talking like if Arkansas goes through the losers bracket and makes it to the Thursday game? Is that what you're asking? Because if you, I'll give you both. Wednesday, no, he's not done. Arkansas's in a winner-go-home spot at that point. You're going to go to your best regardless. You're going to go to your best regardless. Fred Schott says, so David, that's the answer. No, he's not. He threw 90 pitches or something tonight. It doesn't matter. If you got win or go home, your season's on the line, he's your best bullpen arm, you're pitching him. Fred Schott says, do we face these guys on Wednesday? LSU's got to get to Wednesday first. I like their chances. I like LSU over UCLA. So assuming LSU gets to Wednesday, yes, you face Arkansas again. Like yes, I believe that. The thing that is tough for Arkansas now is they lack starting pitching. Their third starter has been TBA all year. And now Arkansas has to win 4 games in a row. Literally 4 days in a row to make it to the championship series. They're going to need some insane step-up performances from some guys to get there. They have some great bullpen arms. And they have great depth. But if you don't get a good start from Gage Wood on Monday afternoon against Murray State, and for what it's worth, I fully expect him to. But if you don't, and you have to go to your bullpen early again, I don't care how many arms you have, that taxes them. Arkansas, that third starter, you can look at it and go Landon Beidelsheis, but he has struggled at times this year. So that's the struggle that Arkansas now faces. Gulf South, that's a great point. Root only threw 38 pitches. He's absolutely pitching again in a game 3. 100. That's another great deal that comes from Dave Van Horn's decision. Van Horn pulling him at that point, he can easily come back in any role that they need him to. You want to start him on a Wednesday? You can do that. You want to start him Thursday? You absolutely can do that. But they have to get there first. And in order to get to Wednesday, they have to win Monday and Tuesday. It's why winning game 1 is so important, especially on this side of the bracket. Like if you look at the Friday side of the bracket, you're guaranteed 2 days off regardless. You get Saturday off, you have the loser's bracket game on Sunday, and even the loser of that game gets Monday off. It's harder out of this side of the bracket because you get 1 day off, and that's it. And then you have to play 4 straight days in order to get through it. LSU lived it in 2023, so it's doable. Granted, you played Monday in the winner's bracket, but you played 4 days in a row and won 3 of them in a row out of the loser's bracket. So, Arkansas's in a tough spot now. Do they have the arms to do it? Sure, but they're going to have to get some step-up performances, specifically in a starting role, for them to really have a chance to hurt LSU. I believe that. It's why this was so important. LSU, I haven't looked at the updated odds. LSU should be the overwhelming favorite to win this College World Series right now after that. And they have a great chance to do it. They have a great chance to do it. So, man, that was a statement win tonight, y'all. That was a great, great game. Justin Hunt says plus 125. Is that the very latest? Because if you can get LSU at plus money right now to win the College World Series, you hammer that. Like, you hammer that. So they are the favorite, but plus 125. Hammer it. If you can get plus money, hammer it. Jake Brown says, wonders if they'll be facing lefties from you. UCLA is a very right-handed heavy team. We'll preview UCLA on Sunday. We'll have a full Musso at the Box podcast, audio and video for you on that. For now, y'all smash the like button one more time on the way out, please. Get subscribed, YouTube channel, and on your favorite podcast app. It is greatly appreciated. Please share and be here next time for more on Musso at the Box.